welcome everybody. We have two people live in the broadcast and two attendees in our Zoom room. And it is today about trade 2 in the second line. So, yeah, that's what it is. Karen is enjoying a well-deserved little break. And Tuck may join us, but actually, she I don't know if she found. She was asked that anyway. We'll see if she finally will come and join us live. So we'll just be myself and Linda talking about trade 2. So today is May 4th, 2021, and this is episode 103. And today we're going to talk about trade 2 in the second line, driven by a natural genius. And we also start a new month, the month of May. So the theme in May is getting individual attention through communication and action to manifest in form. And why is that? Because of the traits that we are going to take a look at this month. So the first one is, and that's the one we are going to talk about today, is the driver, trait 2. So the direction of self, the receptive. Then next week, we will talk about assimilation, 23, the elimination of intolerance and acceptance of diversity. So the 23 is an individual trait in communication and action function, right? And then on the other side, also an individual trait in the communication action function is the trait of contribution, trait 8, leading by example. And then, finally in May, we have contemplation in the now, trait 20, individual expression of a lot of things actually. So it's quite individual. All traits are individual actually, yes. Mm-hmm. And expression through communication and action to manifest in form, because we start today in the quarter of form. So filling for purpose through form. So I don't know, Linda, if you have anything to say. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be really individual, I guess.
Yes.
And innovative and
creative
and mutative and melancholic and
transformative. Yes. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting month.
And, and also with the start with the driver, it's really like starting with your direction and then assimilate your direction, making your contribution, and then contemplate in the now. Or so I really feel it's a beautiful flow.
It's a beautiful flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, as we have been talking about, what's happening in the world, I'm really curious how it will unfold this month, right? Where we will be heading, what the new direction, right? It is all new and changing the status quo, individual energy. So yeah, it will be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like people have to make lots of choices these days. So maybe they will get a new direction.
It's interesting because actually what 2027 is all about is about, the individual and being more of closer to yourself and your personal decision-making strategy and your own personal truth and inner knowing. And that is actually what all of this circuitry is about, right?
Yeah, and I really like that in the end, that it is all about being in the now, being aware as an individual, knowing where to go to and take a look from that place to what's happening in the world. So it's fascinating how it all plays out, and I'm really curious how it feels like for everyone to experience these background frequencies.
Yeah, so for those of you in the Zoom room, and I am not able to do two things at a time, so I'm not able to be in the Facebook,
Facebook?
yeah, in the Facebook Live right now, or maybe I am. Could I? Oh, yes, I am. So I could see also the notes over there. Let's see. Can I see if there are any? Yeah. So Debbie is live. Yeah, cool. Hi, Debbie. Greetings. So I can see you too on Facebook. So I'm curious if any of you have trait 2 in their design or a lot of individual energy, and or if you have experienced this. I must say I couldn't quite get to sleep last night, and I was thinking, what's up, but probably I was like, being triggered by all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I also had problems sleeping.
Interesting. So what else do we have? Oh, I know. The 20 is well, that's at least for me. So this is more advanced stuff, but in my dream rave, I do not have the 20, but when I do, it's connected when it's in the transits, it's connected with my 57, and that's something that keeps you awake.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
you have the 5720.
I have it. Yeah. I have it all the
Spontaneity.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that operates then.
No.
And Charmaine has the 14 twice, so you will feel it connected. So having the full strength of blurping out now, is it on the top of your mind? Well, it's the vision connecting with the resources, right? And then being able to fulfill on your vision what you have, Charmaine. So love to hear how you feel it being connected. And then Lisa shares, I've been feeling a new yet more correct direction for me bubbling for about 3 weeks. So that's something interesting, Lisa, because this month may be starting to be the expression of it. So interesting.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
Charmaine raised her hand. I don't know if
Oh,
she
yes,
wants
Charmaine.
to
Allowed to
contribute.
talk.
Yes.
And then we can, yes, there you are, Charmaine, please.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
So,
I'm so happy you're sharing because it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
so I'm an innovator with emotional
cool.
definition, and I don't have. I apologize. I'm going to be mixing my terms here, but I don't have
That's okay.
the G or the sacral or the spleen
Yeah,
or the root.
exactly.
So or the ego. So but I have the 14 twice. And it's in the same, just let me double check because it's actually on the same, it's in my south node, conscious and unconscious.
Yes.
So I'm quite looking forward to it because I'm already feeling this real kind of impetus. And just today I was, I'm kind of trying to get some stuff done, and usually I'm like, oh, it's after lunch, I think I'll just sit down and I'll just have a rest. And it was like, no, come on, and I did a whole load of stuff today. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm really feeling it. It's the last one for me was tough. The last couple of weeks was tough for me. But yeah, this one feels great. I like having the two.
Great. So you really feel the energy, right? And actually, Debbie on our Facebook, Debbie, if you want to jump over, I cannot copy and paste it right now, but you can find it on our website, or if you have the link from the previous sessions, you can come over to the Zoom room. Debbie is actually also an innovator and also having trait 14 twice, conscious and unconscious, like you, Charmaine. So who knows if Debbie is able to jump over, she can share as well. Yeah, so you both have then access to energy, right, from that motor function, and being able to get things going. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And Lisa is sharing, I've been feeling a new, yeah, okay. And why is the 214 called the keeper of the keys? That's a good question. Because the driver, and yeah, so this is more of the esoteric part of it, but the driver is also the magnetic monopole and knows where we go in life, right? And knows why we are here and what our purpose is, and So that's why it's the keeper of the keys. The energy behind, you know, pulling us through life where we need to go, in a sense, right? That's kind of where it comes from.
Yeah, it's like unlocking our potential and our direction in a sense.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, great question. All right, so the reminder that Hidden Crisis is coming. So May 9th, let's see, that's in 5 days. So coming weekend, I believe. Yeah, sit back and enjoy the ride, and hold on tight and fasten your seatbelts and whatever you can find. We are in a month of individual transformation, you know, shaking up the status quo, and then we'll get the background frequency of Neptune, which is what's hidden, also going into the trait of crisis, trait 36. So it truly will be a very interesting month this month. And getting more, you know, severe, or whatever we want to call it. Yeah. And going up to, so that's actually what's shared here, start dissolving the human experiential way. It's also in the process of, you know, going to 2027 that things start dissolving now with what's hidden. So
yeah, and don't get too caught up in the 36, because it also has a beautiful other side. It also brings forward progress. So I want to really emphasize it, because lots of people think, oh my goodness, crisis, but most of the time it also leads you to a new way. And it's really interesting that with all the individual background frequency, and then adding the 36, it will maybe trigger your new direction, just like also Lisa was sharing, like it's bubbling a new way. Maybe it will lead you, and maybe it will be with bumps in the road, but maybe you never know what lies hidden, for like a treasure on your path.
Yeah. And as I shared, I believe last time as well, from our deepest shadows or crises, personal crises, we get our greatest growth, and
Yes.
which is true for humanity as a whole as well. So yeah. And Shemaine is asking an even more deeper question. Let's just stick to the transits of the core essence. No. It's okay. It's okay, Shemaine, but I'm just laughing. So Shemaine is asking how the Pluto retrograde is impacting things. This has come into last and will last until October. It will actually go back and forth. And so we are in the truth and transformation right now in the 61, and it's going back and forth in retrograde with the 60, and then it will, you know, change up with the 41 eventually. So yeah. I'm going to leave that up to Karen to explain next week again. So be sure to join next week. Maybe she will share a little bit more. Yeah. It is an exciting treasure and an exciting time. Exactly, Lisa.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and Debbie, if you are not able to come over, I can read also what you share on the on the Facebook page. All right, so let's take a look at the trait of the driver that we dived into yesterday. So the driver behind the wheel is behind the wheel of your own life. So the driver knows where we are going. The driver knows our purpose. The driver knows the road, and we are just a passenger on the back seat, right? And if we try to take over the wheel, we steer off our, you know, our path in life. We think we know, right? Our personality thinks we know, our consciousness, our conscious side of us. But actually the driver, life knows where to take you, and life will bring you what you need to respond to, or to initiate, or to your invitations, or the things you need in life. So the driver behind the wheel is actually in trait 2. So it's holding us in the illusion of our separateness. Well, actually, so it's the illusion of being one, but we have like a conscious and an unconscious side, but you know, they're kind of held together by trait 2, where actually also the magnetic monopole resides, right? The trait 2 of the driver is empowering others with an inner sense of vision and direction. So both trait 2 and 14, so the whole strength, are both strengths in small groups and large groups, and have a true impact in, let me see, 1 second. I have some kids over. Alrighty. So, sorry. So it's empowering others also with an inner sense of vision and direction, because it's also what you bring to a group, right? So, for instance, Karen, unfortunately, she's not here this week, but she has trait 2 of vision, and her vision is huge. So she knows what to bring to the BG5 Institute to develop, to create, to move forward, etc. Right? So you not only empower yourself in your own direction, but very much so also it is the individual energy connected to groups, both small and large group, right? So it's both a penta strength and an OC16 management strength. Receptivity as the primal base through which any response is determined, the root of action. Directing others towards the resources, for those of you, hi Debbie, you're over here. For those of you, both Shemaine and Debbie, who have the 14, because they need to support their creative endeavors. So there are resources needed, both in small groups and in large groups. This is the backbone of any organization, right? And the resources, the power skills, right? Those are in trait 14, and then the division shares, you know, what the plan is, or where what it is intended to, and then the treasurer in the 14 can say, okay, that's a, you know, that's a solid plan, so we can get the resources going. And by simply aligning to your own direction, you automatically empower or confirm in others their own sense of direction. So it is individual energy, and first and foremost, to be yourself. And with that, living out yourself and following your own direction, being an empowerment for others to do so as well. So Linda, would you like to share something about what you see here? And then I will ask also Shemaine and Debbie, if you want to share something, you can raise your hand, or anybody else, and I can give you the mic.
Yes. Yeah, to me, it feels like this is a beautiful trait. And also what you just pointed out, it's really, it's also in the heart of a design. It's also really important within a large group, in a small group. It's really our direction. And how I feel about, I don't have this trait, I don't have the 14, but how I feel it's all about surrendering and taking a seat in the back seat, not at the wheel, and go with the flow of life and trust that with your decision-making strategy, life will take you to the places you need to go, because it's really about your identity, it's about your direction, it's about the love of self, of being alive at this moment. Because I also, what I can see working with Karen, as you also mentioned, she really inspires with her vision. She is really someone who, by following her own direction, her own path, her own creative, mutative way, she really makes a path for others. And I'm just, a lot of time I'm in awe. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where does that come from? how can you be so creative or have that vision? It's wonderful. And I know she loves this trait, and it gives her a lot of pleasure in creating things. But I also can really see that it's really important to surrender to it as well. If you are putting too much stress or mental pressure on it, because it works in a pulse, because it's individual. So there's also a different side. And when nothing is happening, you can really feel, oh my goodness, I long for my vision and to create things, and the feeling that it brings, because I can imagine that it is, I also have individual traits, but I don't have this one, but that it's really wonderful to be able to put out your vision. But there are also times that it doesn't work, or that the vision isn't there. And then you have to wait.
Yeah, and the other side of it, so for Karen, it's also where her most impactful bridging is. So the 14 is her most impactful bridging trait. So a lot of times she feels she doesn't have enough energy or resources or whatever to bring her vision to fruition. And
Exactly.
It's up to her to delegate, which is a real difficult part for her. She thinks she needs to do it all by herself, having such a big vision and it being, you know, the most powerful bridging. And fortunately, Linda Benel of the director of the BG5 Business Institute has the 14, so that operates really well. And yes, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for coming over.
Hey, Natalie. Hey, Linda.
Hi.
Hi.
So what, Linda, what you're speaking to is because I do have trait 14 twice, but as you share this, when you shared that we need to surrender, because I'm actually in creative mode right now of working on my setting up a membership when it comes to serving individuals with grief. And I'm like in a very creative mode. And when you say surrender, I'm going, well, that's a perfect time to also just ground in our bodies, right? When we want to push. And if we just surrender to and listen to, like, just go out in Mother Nature, or put our, walk in Mother Nature, or go work in the garden or something, but be physically in our body, go for a run or a bike ride. It just makes me think, oh, okay, so when I, because I go, oh, I want to get this. No, we got to surrender to it. And with you reminding us of that, I'm going, okay, that's teaching us to be in our bodies and ground in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great to hear.
Yeah. And Lisa is sharing she has the 2. So I have the 2. And like Linda said about surrender, that's what's happening to me. I'm surrendering to the vision I was previously trying to squelch.
Well, I don't know.
We're both Dutch. We don't know. Debbie, help us out.
Squelch means stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's like it's starting to bloom rapidly. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to share live. And Maggie, I see you're here, and I know you have trait 2 actually in your core essence. I just looked it up. Do you want to share, Maggie? And just, let us know in the chat or raise your hand, and then I can give you the mic.
But I really like the comment of Debbie about being in your body, because I really feel like it's what I also shared. You are centered. It's really just in the middle of your body graph. And it's really leaning back. It's really like, what you shared, grounding, and just let that life takes you in the right timing, and that you can trust your decision maker strategy, and also being an innovator, really feeling when you want to have the impact, when you want to move forward, when you have the energy to do it.
And trusting the process is exactly what you're saying. It's
Yes.
trusting the process.
Exactly. Yeah. I can imagine that it's magical to experience that.
When I stay out of my head, yes.
Yes.
That's the biggest challenge we have, right?
Everyone has that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Let's hear from Maggie, and I'm going to just remove this, and I'm going to, oh, sorry, Maggie, there, what did I do? I did do it the wrong way around. There we go. And I actually, this is your chart. So we see Maggie has the 2-4 in her core essence.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So Maggie, how is that for you?
Oh my God.
Show us the way.
I just popped into the meeting, and so I didn't hear what was going on. But as soon as I looked at what you have posted up, it's like everything you've got listed there, I identify with. And I'm a storyteller, so I have a little story to go with everything.
Wonderful.
But I've really been struggling with this illusion of separateness, because I live in this world where I'm constantly getting a download from the universe, which is sort of what's guiding all of us. And as a projector, you know, we want to guide everyone already, and then as a sphinx, and then this. So I have all these visions that are about the future. I'm very sixth line, and I have the 41-3, which is all about, you know, this fantasy, and I have the 16-1, which is about delusion. So you know how prophets are they're pushed out of the world because nobody wants to hear what they have to say. I sort of live in this world of separateness because I've got all these visions of the future that nobody sees yet, and I don't know how to share them, because I share them through my not self when they're not invited. People just want to say, get away. Don't tell us. We don't want to hear that those things are going to happen. Go away, go away, go away. And so I'm really working on finding positive ways of bringing forward that vision without getting myself excluded for my witness self, which is always witnessing the truth that the corrupt world doesn't want you to see.
Yeah, so we have a few people here that have the 14. So have you ever, you know, consciously gone through transits or worked with somebody that has the other side of the 14?
Well, I have noticed, I haven't, yes, when the transits are going, yes, I'm very active. But I have noticed in my life that one time a psychic gave me this directive, because I've had a lot of problems in relationships. And she said, when you fall in love with who you are when you're with another, you're with someone who can love you. When you fall in love with what you have to offer them, which is the projector not self of I'm going to fix everything, you're with an addict or someone who can never love you. And I have noticed, because I've been in design for a long time, that every time when I'm talking to somebody and these visions bubble out and these stories bubble out and they're beautiful and I like what I'm saying, that person invariably has the 14. It's just almost like law. Like I can tell who's got the 14 just by what starts coming out of my mouth.
That's fascinating.
And so, and so the urge to direct others being in the fourth line is very, it's challenging. I basically, the balance to it is aloneness. And so it's only in my aloneness that I can actually direct
others, if that makes sense.
And so that comes from the grounding that you have. So that's an interesting
Yeah.
combination. Yeah. So we're actually, so it's your birthday today, tomorrow, the day after?
Friday, the 7th.
Okay, yeah. So
But
congratulations.
my solar return is on the 6th. So.
Alrighty.
Wow.
So yeah, interesting. So we will also discuss your life work today. Not, of course, together with the profile, but it's the personal focus life work that we will discuss today. So hang in there, and we'll come back to you for the life work experience.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
because actually we have a celebrity that both Linda and I do not know. So now we have a celebrity that I know, at least, right? Somebody in the BG5 community.
Yay!
All right. Get back to you later, Maggie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, and Charmaine is sharing, so let me also take this one out. So Charmaine is sharing, I've been working on a project for the past 18 months, being emotionally defined innovator, right? Yes, and in an innovator, it has taken a lot of time and patience to wait and let things reveal themselves. And I've had a few bursts of energy over time, but this is really the first time that I do feel things are coming together. And therefore, and there is some traction. That is great, Charmaine. So enjoy this week and, take the most advantage of it as you can, right? And Debbie is sharing such a gift, Maggie, that you have. And Lisa sharing, whoa, lol, Maggie, speaking about psychics. That's what's bubbling up for me as my true direction that I've been trying to squelch. Well, we have a nice crowd here then. All right, so let's take a look at the quality of today, which is quality 2. So quality 2 is the natural, a talent that needs to be called out. And in the driver, it's called the genius. So quality 2 in the driver, so unconscious and unlearnable alignment of stimulus and response, the natural. So that's the lifelong learning. And then the elevation is a natural gift for unlearnable knowing, the inner strength to focus and realize. And the challenge is the delusion that knowledge is power, genius as madness, knowledge exclusively as power for the enhanced of the ego. That is a very interesting one. What I really like, that the unlearnable knowing, I think it's characteristical for the whole individual circuitry. It's not something you learn in school or anything, right? It is knowing from within.
Yeah, and suddenly.
Yeah.
And
it's not there, it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah, and you just know.
Yeah. And then you have to find a good way to express yourself and to, as Maggie also shares, when it comes out of your mouth, it will not always be accepted by the public. And especially since most of the time it's also bringing forth some transformation, some change. And, you need to, so the 4323 is actually the strength of genius to freak, right? Is you need to practice how to bring the message, right? And Maggie is sharing, Ra doesn't speak of this, but I believe much of his guidance came through the 2. Yeah, I do think so too.
Yeah.
He actually, when you listen to there is a little video of it's an hour and a half, I believe, on his encounter with the voice, right? And in that encounter, he does speak of what comes, what came in, and I think it has to do with the 2. And not going in too much of the esoteric, but you can look up on Jovian Archive YouTube. You can find this video if you are interested. Yeah.
And I also really like the sentence, the unconscious and unlearnable alignment of stimulus and response. It's like also what Debbie shared about being grounded in your body. It's really just unconscious follow where your body leads you or where life leads you. It's not learnable. It's really, again, surrendering to what comes up in life, the stimulus and the response. Because when you are in the backseat, lots of things, the environment, you can see lots of things. And where do you respond to? Where does your body wants to go? Or where does it want to stop, to go out of the car and to breathe in the air, or to watch the beautiful view? Or do you want to speed up? Where does life and your body take you? And if you are able to trust that, and to really go with that without questioning it, then life will bring you to places you cannot imagine.
Yeah. I think it will always be challenging to really, truly 100% follow your decision-making strategy, right? Follow your body intelligence.
Yes.
But as I'm doing it more and more over now the past 7 years or so, it is amazing what life can bring you, right? And then sometimes you question, but if you just, it's all in the surrender, right? But then it is magical what ends up on your path. And it will be the correct direction, because life knows, the driver knows where to go, right?
And the right timing.
Yeah,
because sometimes
exactly.
you feel like I'm investing, just also like Charmaine shared, and she's an innovator, so it works for her that way, that you really have to be moved into action. But you can really feel I'm doing nothing, and or I'm working so hard, but nothing comes out of it. And suddenly, in one time, 3 clients or 10 clients or whatever you had envisioned suddenly is standing in front of your nose.
Yeah.
Then you think, oh, okay, be careful what you wish for. Huh? So
exactly. Trust the driver also, Lisa says, so true. So I also really like what it says here in the challenge: the delusion that knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. Power is being who you truly are and authentic, and that's what attracts in life. If you think that it is the power, you will get back slapped, or how do you say that in beautiful English? But
and knowledge can drive you crazy.
So genius to madness.
Yes, because you can go over the same thing, and why are things not happening? Why? Because then you don't trust how life works, and then you are going to try to make up your mind, and then it will drive you crazy. So I really feel like that's a beautiful analogy.
It's a beautiful trait and quality, actually, right? Sometimes there are 64 traits, 384 qualities, and we do not know them all or have read them consciously, right? Like really remembering. But that's the beauty about this BG5 live sessions that we have, these podcasts, that you really dive into a particular quality. This is actually a real beautiful one.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Goosebumps, says Lisa. All right. Let's take a look at the life work of this trait. So it is the life work of direction. So swings, as Maggie also was sharing. That's the human design terminology for it. So your life work theme is direction. You are an influential confident who combines aesthetics with a deep resonance to humanity's material needs, maintaining continuity with the past while mutating the collective's material direction. A mouthful. So this is Nathan Chen, a figure ice skater, an American figure ice skating, and he is a 3-time world champion in 2018, 2019, 2021, and in 2018 also an Olympic bronze medalist. in the team event. And Chen is the first skater to have landed 5 types of quadruple jumps in competition. Wow, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So some power behind the driver, right?
Yeah.
Probably having, some connection here, or 14 in his team or whatever. I don't know.
Well, really grounded in his body, I guess, with
Yeah.
the landing.
So his exact birthday time we do not know, but it will be in this life work. So maybe some other aspects in his design may be different, but this life work will be the birth with on this birthday, so to say.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So let me pull Maggie back in, and I'd love to hear from you. Let's first read one of Charmaine. Charmaine says, "That's crazy. I was a figure skater when I was young, and a tripper was the super goal. I think he is an acrobat gymnast too, which helps."
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Charmaine. Yeah, so Maggie, you have the same life work, right? With a different public role, the 4-6, but still you have the life work theme of direction.
Yes. Am I unmuted yet?
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
yeah. No, I wanted to comment first on Nathan, because he's got the ability to struggle against all odds. He's got the sensitivity to everything, and he's got this competition that is going to just, the competitive edge.
To do the 5 types of quadruple jumps.
yes, he will. It will drive him. My daughter has that, and when she's in a competitive arena, it's unbelievable what she does. So it's he's got quite the design there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, what was your question?
About the life work, because you have the same life work, right? Are you there?
Yes. The same life work as him.
Yeah. This is a personal focus. So you have a different public role, but you also have the life work theme of direction.
Yes.
You are an influential, confident who combines aesthetics with a deep resonance to humanity's material needs, maintaining continuity with the past while mutating the collective's material direction.
Yes. and I noticed that he and I also share the channel of sensitivity, the strength of the sensitivity as well, which is about being sensitive to the needs of others. And that's a huge focus of mine. But I think when it is your life work, we're automatically good from birth at guiding everybody else. But for the most part, we feel lost all the time, ourselves. And so, because in order to find your own inner guidance, you have to get away from all the conditioning that's trying to tell you where you should go. And so it's interfacing with the world becomes always kind of a challenge relative to what your core essence is trying to bring forward. It's like it's going to rub against it. And so because I have veiled the 1-1, which is the opposite. And it's about creation is independent of will, and I'm very willful. And so there's this whole dynamic of how to get away from all the influence of the world and not take it in. And with my totally open upper section there, I'm taking in everything. That, it's always this dichotomy of this. And so the aloneness, which is what grounds me, is the only thing that keeps me alive. I feel, it's like in that alone space in my cave, is where all the vision comes and the guidance comes. But then waiting until somebody actually wants to hear what you have to say, you know, because you're not out there in the world, you're hiding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I feel I live in this huge fantasy world of this vision of the future. And I'm just preparing for it. And it just keeps coming through me. But there's no place yet to put it out there until the right 14s come along.
Yeah. Yeah. So I also know, Maggie, that, so I'm reading this. You've worked with a client where you really were an influential confidant, right? And
Yes.
and you know, deep resonance to humanity's material needs. I think that is what you bring to when you work with clients, right?
Yeah, well, I feel like that's my attraction to the BG5 and the OC16. That's all about being sensitive to the needs of humanity going into the future, which is we need to learn how to work together so that we're a unified group, which is, you know, that's the key word of what BG5 is.
Yeah.
We are a unified group going forward harmoniously, productively, for the good of all, materially.
Well, maybe that's also a good thing now that you mentioned that, Maggie, to point out that we've been living in quite a not self world in that aspect, also in how we collaborate, right?
Yes.
So we connect from most of the time a not self perspective, just choosing the safe way, choosing whatever. A lot of people are not happy in their jobs in the world, are burned out or whatever, and you have this, you know, this inner sense of how magical it can be and where we are moving to. So your role probably, you know, will be more acknowledged going forward, right? Because we are now learning to connect from our individual strengths, qualities, etc., in the world, and then becoming a how do you say that? Oh, an aware, or yeah, is that the word? An aware group, right? An aware functioning group from self. And you already by birth, by your life work, from the beginning had the sense of, you know, this is not working and we need to go here. And the world was not ready for a very, very, very long time.
Yes.
Is that summing up your life?
It's the story of my life. You know, the world is not ready. See, I was educated in the field of science because just I'm my variable is quadruple right, and my open head, I just take in information and take in information and take in information. And when you begin seeking the truth, our current society is based on not truth, and it's based on power and control. It's about competition and dividing and conquering, and the way, and that's all about war. And it's all about secrecy, and it's all about one-upmanship. And so the field of science is meant to be about the search for truth. But I was so disillusioned when I joined the field of science that I quit, because it's not. It's about egos and competition.
And
that's what, when you go into the BG5 and the OC16 configurations in harmonious ways, you're channelizing all that competitive energy into almost like a tribal phenomenon where, you know, okay, the tribes can compete, but we're all surviving harmoniously within our tribe and comfortable there. I'm very tribal. So.
It is what the current era is about. It's tribal, and we're moving to the individual. So
Exactly.
yeah.
But how that the individual then can function well within a tribe that has a different, right now our tribal law is about you know, everything's based on this tribal law, which, you know, has banishment and has, you know, inclusion and all these
Exclusion. Yeah.
all these codependent
Yeah.
The
negative
bargains.
the bargains that
Mhm.
you know are never correct because none of us are, you know, operating correctly.
Yeah, and you can lie with logic, because you really triggered me when you said you were disillusioned about science, because you can say anything that's kind of based on facts or logic, but you can twist the truth. You can twist everything in your own, for your own ego, and that's
Yes,
what you see happening. And
absolutely.
what I really feel is that we are going to more of a collaboration in like a tribal form, but from an individual point of view, so that you are living from the inside out, seeking out for people who you want to collaborate with, who are going the same direction, who you resonate with, instead of like now you just have to be in a group, lots of people, and that's what you see, and that's also your gift as an advisor. You can really hone in their direction, and they are joining a group because they have to make money, and they need the resources to make a living. So they just go to their work, but what they don't enjoy, and they don't pick the co-workers that they like. They just have to make a living, and that will change.
Yeah. Well, that's where you said the word collaborate, and my split is bridged by the 35-3, which is collaboration, and the 45-5, which is leadership. So it's like collaborative leadership, which
Exactly.
is really what BG5 and OC16 are about. It's about
Exactly.
collaborative leadership, you know, where you have the organism of the group is led from its internal mechanisms that are collaborative rather than hierarchical.
Exactly.
And the field of science right now, it's very masculine minded in that it's all based on competition, and you can't get truth when you're competing with each other for the truth. Truth only comes collaboratively. And so the transformation of science is as we're moving into collaboration between the fields. We've got all these STEM things coming forward, collaboration between research groups, collaboration. So collaboration, which the feminine is far more good at, if I was to say, at the collaborative nature, which are shifting towards more women in science and women doing the administrative aspects that create environments where people can collaborate. And that, you know, of course, is part of my vision. So, and where because I have the channel of the witness, when I am in environments and I am not, I literally make people uncomfortable because I have a very strong ego defined, and I also have this witness that's going on everywhere. And whenever there's corruption, whenever there's lies, whenever there's anything, I immediately see it. And so that's what happened in science is all I could see was all the lies. I couldn't see anything else. And so as soon as you begin to point out as a not self-projector, beginning to point out to the leadership that, hey, this is corrupt, this is not right, that's when I get banished. And so
we will see where the world will go, and I hope you can fulfill a beautiful role in new energy coming up.
Because it's the individual that's trying to guide the collective, and the collective doesn't want to be guided by the individual.
No, not yet. No, let's do
not yet.
Times will change.
All right, so let's wrap things up and go to our last. So thank you, Maggie, for your sharings. And well, want to follow along, so you can get your free report on our website and also watch past episodes. So on our website, you can get your chart and download your chart, and then get the free report about your career type, personal interaction, decision making, key indicators. So really nice for you to start off and to follow along in the BG5 lives. And of course, our courses are coming up, and actually tomorrow Tuck is going to do the trial class for the foundation course. So if you want to join, please go to our website and click on the foundation course semester 1, and you can, sign up for the free trial class, which is at 10 a.m. Pacific. So please join us, and other courses are starting as well in May. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for your beautiful sharings. It was just myself and Linda, but with a lot of participation of the attendees today. So I'm really loving that. And Lisa's also sharing to you, Maggie. You're heading in the right direction, Maggie. Good for you.
Yeah,
So,
wonderful.
Linda, yeah, what do you want to people to take away for this week, and what to look forward to, or what to notice, or anything you want to share with our listeners about Trade 2 and the next week?
Well, I feel like the surrendering part, surrender, and with the help of this background frequency, you never know what life brings you. And maybe you now, and that's what I really see in the comments, that people are getting a sense of their direction, or they are going to move into action in some kind of way. And be aware and surrender, and don't get in your head about it, but just embrace it and see where life takes you. I really feel that's the message for this week. And I'm also curious about what will happen in our environment and in our society, and what kind of vibrations maybe we in a positive way. We will see.
So, we always have the driver in our lives. I mean, all of our designs, and that's actually what moves us forward. But now the driver is real prominent. So, let's, I like that very much. Surrender to what life brings you, and some, how do you say, steps forward or directions will reveal itself, right? And just be aware for yourself and for the collective around you in how we will move forward as humanity. So and as we shared at the beginning, it is the start of the quarter of purpose fulfilled to form. So it's starting to get into form, right? That is what this 3 months will be about. So and then starting off with a lot of individual energy in May. So let's see what creativity, innovation, transformation will bring us in May.
Yay.
So thank you all for being here, and looking forward to see you all next week, and have a wonderful week. And I hope you enjoy the driver giving you direction.
Exactly. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.